what's happening right now, and we said this to you we said to you for the last month, is they're setting up the country for delivering less than they promised pre-election. Whether it's average tax cuts for people or whatever, as we speak right now, the tax cut calculator is off the National Party website, and they're going to put a new one up, which means I hope everyone did their tax cuts who's going to get them, and you took like a screenshot so you know what it's going to be, and you can compare that to what the tax cut's going to be on Thursday. What they get, because my suggestion, Joey, my thoughts are they're going to be a fair bit lower. They're going to be a fair bit lower, Sunny Wijan. So we'll get to see that. But yeah, they're basically setting up the country, I think, at the moment for don't expect too much. Can we expect at least as much as you promised? You just don't expect too much. That's the sum of the conversation at the moment.
Christopher Luxon and Nicola Willis know it's a big week. Cutting a confident duo, they say they're ready.
Big day Thursday, budget day.
To mark the occasion, a slick PR video.
This budget, our budget, is all about you.
Nicola Willis saying while she can't fix all the country's problems in one...
I get the sense, though, that that's what they were promising before the election, that would fix all the economic problems. No, they might not have said that, but I thought that was pretty clear through their positioning up until the election, that these guys bad, we'll sort it all out. Not like we'll fix some things, but we can't do everything. That didn't seem to be the vibe before the election, at least.
On budget, she can help with household costs.
We will deliver tax relief.
Māori, meanwhile, are mobilising, calling for a National Activation Day on Thursday, a move that threatens scenes of discord similar to those which greeted the new government last year.
Well, look, I mean, Te Pāti Māori and their supporters are completely within their rights to protest as long as it's done peacefully, legally, appropriately, respectfully.
Right the way across the country, we're seeing increasing numbers of New Zealand.
It's funny about how everything has to be respectful when people are considering what they're doing to the country to be pretty disrespectful. This is like what old Seymour said last week about the debate. Like, what he's doing with the debate around the treaty is the most disrespectful thing. He's tearing the heart. You heard Moana last week, Moana Tūwhare, talking about how Māori are taking that thing and how offensive it is. And he's sitting up at the front going, that really offensive thing we're doing to try and pull the heart out of this people group? As long as we can be respectful about it, then anything's okay. It's ridiculous, Joey.
Yeah, I find it, really interesting that, of course they're allowed to protest. Of course they are. As
in
long
the appropriate
as they
way.
do this and this and this and this and this rule, and it mustn't hurt my feelings. No, they don't have to do with that. Arguably, you have to say that they have to be legal.
Yeah.
But outside of that, no.
Yeah.
Get fucked.
And even the legal thing, civil disobedience to some level. I mean, burning a building down, no. Blocking a roadway and being technically in breach of the law and holding up a few cars for a wee while, not so much. So there are layers there as well.
There is already tone policing going on about Te Pāti Māori's messaging, and I'll get to that after that before we go.
All right, I'm just watching the background sign reader. She looks like she's dancing, She's having a good old jam at this, having a good time.
Legally, appropriately, respectfully.
Right the way across the country, we're seeing increasing numbers of New Zealanders concerned about the actions of this government.
National's tax cuts are stated clearly in the government's coalition agreement. For an average income household, think two parents with a combined income of just over $126,000.
This is a beautiful question by Mikey. It is beautiful what she asks Nicola Willis. I'm just savouring it before it comes. I'm keeping you all on tenterhooks.
They'll get tax relief of up to $100 per fortnight. That's $50 per week or $25 per adult.
Jesus.
Will you commit to still funding that $100 a fortnight for the average household income?
I'll commit to sharing our tax policy with you on budget day. It's just 3 sleeps away. And what's more, we will have a tax calculator available on the Treasury website so every household can look at the tax relief that's owed to them.
National's own tax calculator from the election campaign today nowhere to be seen, with hints Thursday's tax package may be less than originally promised.
Hints. And yeah, forgive me, I think I said Dave Rennie, didn't I? Because I was thinking rugby. Craig Rennie is joining us on Thursday.
Well, clearly the numbers that are going to be up there on Thursday are different to the numbers that they were promising up until now.
I wouldn't read that into it. It's just simply that there's going to be an official tax calculator from Thursday.
A recent survey.
So if you wouldn't read that into it, that means they are going to be the same or better. They are going to be the same or better.
Please don't read ahead.
Because if they're not going to be the same or better, then what we're reading into it is accurate. So, so what you're saying is if we don't read that into it, then they're going to be better. Good. Okay. So Nicola Willis confirms that the tax cut's going to be the same or better because we shouldn't be reading into it less. So perfect. Thank you. We all know.
Survey by the Auckland Business Chamber shows 65% of businesses have negative business confidence, up a whopping 13 points from last quarter, while 55% are making less money compared to last year, up 5.
That's weird because who was in this time last year? I'm just trying to think who was running the country this time last year. Those guys that were really terrible and did everything wrong with the economy. Who were they? Something like Libor? Is it Libor? Something like that?
Now, I'm going to say, in fairness, the same thing that I said last year when Business Confidence Survey got toted out. The Business Confidence Survey is the biggest load of horse shit that ever gets used. Like, it's just ridiculous. How do businesses feel? I don't care. Give me stats. Like 55% decrease in revenue. Absolutely. That would account for their lack of business confidence, wouldn't it? Business confidence is just vibes captured by a major bank. Fuck that measure. Like it's given so much weight and it's based on thin air.
But we do know.
These guys.
We do know if Labour within the last year and had these kinds of numbers, National would be using it in their advertising and from every billboard. So fair's fair, all's fair in love and war, comparable. But yes, you're right. 55% of businesses have seen a decrease in revenue today versus 12 months ago. But that's probably an anomaly because those guys 12 months ago didn't know what they were doing, according to Mr. Luxon.
5 points on last quarter.
But I do think there'll be some hope from businesses, particularly at the smaller end, that there'll be a bit of sizzle with this pretty lean sausage, if I can put it that way. That,
Please don't.
Maybe there's be some policy reforms. Maybe there'll be a sense of regulation busting.
Whether it's sizzle or a fizzle, we'll find out in 3 more sleeps.
God, can we please get away from alliteration and rhyming in our news, for God's sake?
And 3 more sleeps, to be honest. 3 more sleeps is what you say to kids about Christmas. This isn't Christmas.
Well, it is for political reporters, I'm sure.
Oh, it is. But for the rest of us, we rush to Nicola Willis's Christmas tree, open it up and find out what shape and color of turd we're getting.
Yeah.
Like the tax calculator thing is so cynical. And we all know what's going to happen. We're going to compare those numbers. People wrote the numbers down. People have memories.
Yeah.
We're going to fucking do it live to air, I guarantee it. Like, it's just so dumb. So dumb. And if you voted for National for a tax cut, I want to hear from you. I want to hear how happy you are. Has it worked out well? Have your costs gone up?